Dr. Rachel, as far as girth is concerned, how thick should a penis be to put enough pressure on the clit and walls to make her ejaculate? This is a great question. And so you're assuming, Tommy, that it has to be a penis to make her ejaculate. You can actually use your fingers. We hear more stories of female ejaculation when someone is using their hand than actually using the penis. And honestly, the average lady, and everybody's different, doesn't want a big old fat, super fat situation inside of her because it can be painful. The day after is terrible, all of that. Average guys do not lose when it comes to sexual intercourse because you guys can go longer because she can actually tolerate what's happening there. There's more room for fun, and there's less room for the next day. I have plenty of guys who message me having trouble because they're too thick and the ladies aren't feeling that. But let's talk about that a little bit, because everyone's vagina is different and everyone's penis is different. And what I mean by that is some people on the inside of their vaginal canal, it can be very small. Of course, it expands because it has elastic fibers. And then some people's can be very large. It can be short. It can be long. And I'm talking about the canal, because basically the length of the canal is dictated by where the cervix is sitting in the canal, right? Maybe the person doesn't have a cervix anymore. So maybe the length is a little longer. So typically back in ancient Chinese culture, they actually had matchmakers that would actually match up individuals based off of facial features and how they suspected the penis length and size and girth was in comparison to the vaginal canal length and girth depth, right? So there are such things as sexual mismatches. If you happen to have a very small erection, very small penis, and she happens to have a very large canal and deep, she's probably not going to feel much that's happening there. So that would be a penis vagina mismatch. These do happen. I want you all to know that sexual compatibility is a real thing, and that if you're in a new stage of relationship with someone and you really like them and they're fantastic and they could be your best friend, and then sexually you guys are clearly not compatible, you can hire all the sex experts you want, the sexologists and whatever, and you guys are never going to be compatible sexually. And you have to decide at that point, is sexual compatibility, is sex important to you? And if it is, if you are really a sexual person, you should not, and in no circumstances, marry somebody who you are not sexually compatible with. Because if it's not fantastic and fire in the beginning, wait 5 years in, wait 7 years in. Everything decreases over time. But if it starts at the bottom, how low can it go? So sexual compatibility is a thing, and sometimes it's even genital compatibility. If she's saying you're way too big and it's a bit too much, but you like each other and you make great money and she's sticking in it, by the time you guys get married, 3 years in it, you guys just not going to have much of a sex life, right? So sexual compatibility is really important, and don't let anybody tell you that it's not. So girth corresponds to, when you're talking about penis and vagina sex, then the girth has to have to do with what is her girth? Is she able to use her PC muscles to contract and still grab onto you if you're small and she's really large, right? So it really does play a factor depending on that, right?